I don't know why, but here lately it seems that a lot of more people are saying things like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot was unfinished and that the devs don't care about the community and things like that. So today I want to address this and put this to the test. Let's go. Guys, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and join the pack and become hashtag alpha. Guys, I want you to start out this video, guys, by letting me know something that you're grateful for in the comments section down below. And if you're not grateful for anything this morning, start thinking about it. There's always something to be grateful for. If there's something that you enjoy, if you had a double cheeseburger last night and you enjoyed it, you're grateful for that double cheeseburger. There's always something to be grateful about. So put that down in the comment section down below and let's get on with the video. So I've been seeing several comments in the past couple of videos that I've done, and those comments are talking about things like Kakarot is unfinished. I've had people kind of bash me for liking the game and things like that. And I wanted to address this because I've said it before in other videos, but obviously that message didn't quite get through, or the person probably didn't see it or something like that. And guys, I want to say this too. I want to address this because I didn't used to delete comments, but I'm going to be real with you. If you are coming into the comment section just being like bluntly negative for no reason at all, I'm probably going to delete your comment, especially on a video where I'm asking people to post things that they're grateful for. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say like, well, I didn't like this part of the game or that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like this game is stupid and you're stupid if you like it. Like stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that I'm just going to delete. You know, I didn't used to do that, but I'm like, bro, I want to bring back that positive energy to this channel. You get what I'm saying? I want people to be able to go to the comment sections and enjoy themselves and be able to share opinions, even if they don't agree with mine. Like I said, if you don't like the game, that's fine. It's one thing to say, I just didn't enjoy this game for this reason or that reason. But it's another thing to say that, you know, somebody bootlicking or this is stupid. You know, y'all get what I'm saying. But anyway, so guys, I want to start out with this. This game delivered it. So I'm gonna answer the question first. Was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot unfinished? No, this game was finished. It wasn't rushed. Matter of fact, they even pushed the game back. It was supposed to have come out in 2019. It came out in 2020. They actually pushed the game back so that they could finish the game. So it wasn't rushed. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot delivered on everything that they said that they were going to deliver on. Everything that they said was going to be in the game was in the game on day one. Everything that they said wasn't going to be in the game, guess what? Wasn't in the game. Now, I know you're going to say, well, they said movie characters went in the game and they had the 2 movie DLCs. Guys, I told y'all very early on, you have to understand how gaming marketing works. When they're advertising a game, they're not advertising a game based off of what's going to be also in the DLC, because not everybody's going to buy DLC. Therefore, if you don't buy DLC and they say, oh, movie characters will be in the game, and you play the main game and there's no movie characters and you didn't buy the DLC, they can get in trouble for false advertising. That's why they don't, when they said movie characters aren't in the game, it's not in the game. It's in the DLC. That's a completely different animal. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, guys, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, they delivered on everything that they said they were going to deliver on. I didn't see anything that they said was going to be in the game and that they said wasn't going to be in the game that was in the game and wasn't in the game. You get what I'm saying? So I just brought up this interview here because he's asked questions. This is just something for example. He said, so let's start with you introducing yourself. He introduces himself. Guys, one thing y'all have to understand too is that Bandai Namco is the publisher. CyberConnect 2 is the developer. There are some instances where the publisher will give the developer free control, free range to do whatever they want to do. That does happen in the gaming industry. This is not one of those cases. I've talked with CyberConnect 2. They don't get to do everything that they want to do. CyberConnect 2 would love to port Dragon Ball Z Kakarot to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Bandai Namco is in control of that. They're not letting them do that. The developers would like to do a lot of things. And if you follow the channel early on, I talked about Madden games and stuff like that. it's sort of the same way with that. The developers who develop Madden want to do a lot more with the game than the executives at Electronic Arts will allow them to do. And it hinders and hurts the games. You see what I'm saying? Kakarot is kind of the same way. Is this game perfect? By no means, no. But is it a good game? In my opinion, yes, it is. During the presentation, we heard about support characters and new playable characters. We'd like to get more information on both if that's possible, starting with support characters. They made it clear early on that there would be playable characters and that the minor characters like Krillin, Chaozu, Tien, and Yamcha would be support characters. People was upset about that at first because they wanted to be able to play with Krillin and do stuff like that, things like that. But guys, watch Dragon Ball Z and tell me, do any of those characters have a big game-changing prominent role? They don't. They may in a supportive role. But this game plays very true to Dragon Ball anime and the manga because Goku and Vegeta, especially now when we have Blue and Red and Super Saiyan God in the game, you really see it's just like the anime. Krillin and them are irrelevant at this point. Piccolo's not even relevant. How many of y'all are flying around playing with Piccolo right now in Kakarot? Fighting Golden Frieza, fighting, well, you can't fight Beerus with him, but y'all get what I'm saying. The game is doing the same thing. He says, so the main role of a support character is, of course, to support the main character. And that is true to the anime and the manga. Krillin is a support character. Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, they're support characters. They're support characters all through the anime. In Dragon Ball, Krillin was a main character. In Dragon Ball Z, he became a support character. So they didn't mess up there. You know, Goku at this time, he says, support the main character, Goku, at this time. At this time. Look right there. Even in this interview, he says Goku at this time. Because I don't think during this time they had announced that there were other playable characters. And this would mean that they can join the battles. They can make special combos by using support characters. He's just talking about them. That's what he says here. Are their actions mainly AI based or does the player exert any kind of control over them? It's a little bit of both. Guess what, guys? That turned out to be true. So it's conditional. There's something that's called a support skill that describes some kind of controllability of the combo movement of your support character. For example, if Goku makes a special move, a special combo, after that you can control, for example, Piccolo and shoot his special beam cannon. I would just want to ask right quick. Tell me in the comment section, those of y'all who feel that this game was unfinished, tell me something that they said about this game that wasn't in this game. Because in order to call a game unfinished, that would mean that they said something about the game that wasn't in the game. You can't call a game unfinished because it didn't have something that you wanted in the game. And I know people say, well, I feel like the Android saga was rushed. I feel like the Boo saga was rushed. Feeling like something is rushed and saying that it's unfinished is two different things. You know, there was more detail in like the Namek saga than it was in the Boo saga. I'll agree with that, but can you call it unfinished because of that? No, you can't, guys. I did an interview where I did a collaboration with Kenzaru, and even he said the same thing I said. He brought up a very interesting point, and this is true for game development. Not everything they work on gets put into the game. That's true. And so people may wonder why, like even I wondered, why wasn't Goku's instant transmission against Cell put in the game? Like that was a pivotal moment in the Cell saga. Just didn't make the cut. They are paid so much and they have so much time to do things. And that's up to the publisher again. So for those of people who are saying that developer doesn't care, CyberConnect 2 does care. I've talked to them. They care. It's not in their control. They don't have 100% creative control with this game. Bandai Namco is the one that pays the bills. They the one that pay them to do these kinds of things. Put these different things in the game. You get what I'm saying? Excuse me. He said, is it up to the player to choose which character to use at any given time? You know, let's say whenever I get a chance to choose my own, I focus on a specific character. Does this mean that specific character ends up being over leveled? At some point, he says, you're right. There could be some differences by using only one specific character, but unlike the others you use, the skill up condition isn't only based on combat and battle scenes. So you can skill up doing other stuff. So I think that the overall bro, they literally told us about this game, and there wasn't anything that they told us that was in the game that wasn't. I had another article where we talked about the movie characters, and they asked, would movie characters be in the game? That was even in a recorded interview. And they said, no. While you may see homages like Ader in places like that, There are no movie characters in the game. You know, they let you know that, and they told you the type of game that this was. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a game to where you live and breathe in the Dragon Ball universe. We've watched out or read the moments for many years with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. You'll be able to play through the Z Warrior saga from the Raditz attack all the way through Majin Buu. We were curious how the game's development team crammed so many famous sagas into one game, let alone add even more lore, characters, and moments. So we reached out to the community manager. He asked him, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot encompasses the entire Dragon Ball Z saga from the last days, and I'm not going to say the entire because they don't have Oob in there. Now, if they throw it in there in DLC 3 or whatever, I don't know, I doubt it. But anyway, from the days of Raditz and Vegeta to the ultimate showdown with Majin Buu, that's a lot of ground to cover. Was there ever a time when the team felt the early sagas would be enough to fill an entire game, or was it the goal always to tell the full story? He said, that's a good question. This definitely crossed our minds at one point. However, the initial goal of this project was not only to tell the story of Dragon Ball Z, but to allow the players to experience the journey that Goku and the Z Warrior shared. Now, I know people hear that and you say, well, they left out the entire thing of King Kai. They left out the other world and stuff like that. And guys, that just goes back to not everything can make it into the game. You see what I'm saying? So understand that. But to allow the players to experience the journey of Goku and the Z Warrior share, becoming stronger and building up their bonds, we felt that this had to be delivered in one package. And that's what I was telling you, because at first they just showed the Frieza saga and people were like, that's it, that's all we're getting. But I told y'all, if they just did the Frieza saga, it was going to be extremely detailed. And even though they did other sagas, the Frieza saga was still extremely detailed. We assume Kakarot doesn't contain literally every moment in line from each saga. See this? We assume Kakarot doesn't contain literally every moment in line from a saga. So how did the team determine where to trim and where to let moments breathe? Guys, right in your faces, okay? Dragon Ball Z is loved all over the world, so of course everyone has their personal favorite scenes. This made it difficult to set a specific guideline when deciding which moments to include. However, everyone working on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot are lifelong fans of Dragon Ball, so we knew the only thing we could do was continue discussing the best way to please as many Dragon Ball fans as possible. Guys, it is just physically impossible for them to put every single thing into the game. Because two, that's going to make the game file larger, and it all goes back to Bandai. If Bandai pays them to do all of that, they will do it. But they're not paid. They have a limited budget and they have a limited time. Okay, what was the overall process of converting a saga into an individual RPG-like segments? Aside from the main story, we also focused on how to make the gameplay between the main scenarios interesting. As I mentioned, we are all fans of Dragon Ball, so we asked Akira Toriyama questions that we have been dying to know. We adapted those answers into game mechanics such as sub-stories and conversations with NPCs. Okay. Were there any particular moments from the show that were perhaps not considered crucial to the game experience, but were too memorable to leave out? There were tons. For example, we tried to shed light on the funny moments that Akira Toriyama is well known for, such as Gohan's school life during the Buu arc. There are definitely moments that you wouldn't see in other Dragon Ball games. Like, dude, it's right here in your face. Once you had the moments locked in, were there any lines used from the show or was all new VO recorded? All the lines were newly recorded by the voice actors for this game. Recently, there haven't been Dragon Ball games which focused on retelling the anime saga, so we could tell that the voice actors were feeling a lot of nostalgia and enjoyed returning those iconic scenes. Looking for some different questions. When you're not screaming in the battle against notable villains, Kakarot offers lore building side quests, NPCs. What kind of sub stories? He saw us asked about the sub stories there. A brand new character, Banyu, is introduced via these side quests. How was this addition to the DBZ roster proposed? They even tell you that they didn't really have much information to go on, and that's why Banyu isn't fleshed out in the game, because Akira Toriyama was just like, here, put this in the game, and they're like, okay, you know, what else, basically? You see what I'm saying? Was there any hesitation regarding adding a new character to these past events? How does Banyu add to the world of Dragon Ball Z? We had absolutely no hesitation, and that's simply thanks to the fact that it was the author himself who introduced this new character to us. When the creator says here, you take that. You can't argue with the creator. It's his creation. He can do whatever he wants, you see? So you can't look at the Banyu stuff and say that it's unfinished. Finally, how does CyberConnect 2 like working with DBZ franchise? They've created notable anime games as well as beloved RPGs. It seems like a great mix for their strength. Most definitely, we believe that CyberConnect 2 has been able to fully utilize their strengths in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. They've succeeded in fusing this game's presentation style with Dragon Ball Z art style. I hope everyone pays very close attention to the various facial expressions from the characters in the game during epic battles. Ryosuke Hara, which works for Bandai Namco, and the team at CyberConnect 2 was honored to bring the story of Dragon Ball Z to PS4. They have been working passionately to ensure Dragon Ball Z Kakarot honors and expands on the worldwide beloved work of Akira Toriyama. So, and this was before the game release, guys. The game, Kakarot, is not unfinished. I think that people are just upset because they wanted multiplayer in a game that they literally told us in interviews before the game came out that there would be no multiplayer. People were upset that there wasn't clothing customization. They were asked about clothing customization and they said, no, there won't be, because they said this is an RPG, and in RPGs you have different, perks and stuff with clothing and things like that. They asked would that be in the game, and they clearly told them no. The clothing would fit according to what's going on in that particular arc. They were asked about clothing customization. They were asked about multiplayer. They were asked about movie characters. They were asked about all those things that people are upset about that wasn't in the game or whatever, and that are using that to say that the game is unfinished. The game wasn't unfinished. Is there more to be desired? Yes, but what game doesn't leave more to be desired? Even with a great game, say for example God of War that came out on PlayStation, the newest God of War that came out a couple years back. That game was awesome. It left more to be desired. How? Because we wanted more. We wanted another game. There's always going to be more that we want. Does this game have a tournament mode? No, it does not. But this is a living, breathing Dragon Ball world. It's not a multiplayer arena battle. So they can get away with not having a tournament mode in the game. They can get away with not having multiplayer in the game. The game doesn't have balance. They want to keep it true to the anime where the strong characters are strong and the weak characters are just that. They're weak. You see what I'm saying? So there are no justified reasons to say that this game is unfinished there, because they said what they wanted to say about this game. They delivered on that, and what they said wasn't going to be in the game is not in the game. There were no game-breaking bugs. I mean, you look at a game like Cyberpunk, that's so unfinished. That game is clearly unfinished because you have bugs, you have all these things going on in the game that makes the game unplayable. Outriders right now is a livid mess, guys, and that is a AAA title game because that game is clearly unfinished. You see what I'm saying? And you can tell because of the things that go on in the game. This game is in no way, shape, form, or fashion unfinished. You cannot call a game unfinished, and you can dislike a game all you want to, but to call the game unfinished because it doesn't have what you wanted in the game, it doesn't work that way. That's not how game development works. That's not how the gaming industry works. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully this is enough proof. If you need more proof, I'll make another video. I don't care. I can go through all the interviews. If you want to go to the channel and go through the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot playlist, I literally have videos covering all of the interviews that were done for this game. So much so that it's there. It's in detail. You can watch it, and everything that was put out was put into the game. It's not unfinished. The game is perfectly finished. You see what I'm saying? Does it make it a good game? That's an opinionated question, but you can't say it's unfinished because you didn't get what you want in the game. Hope this has been an informative video, guys. I'm going to be getting Biomutant. I'm giving in, getting Biomutant. So tune in for that later. Till next time, y'all, thanks for watching. Have the best day you can.